Okay, so we go from feature film, okay, and now we're going to talk about Disney. And Disney is, while they are, they've had a very interesting year to say the least. Okay, um, and it's one of those things where I think that a lot of people would be. I mean, so a couple of things. Number one, they've had a very interesting year so far. Okay, because I mean, you have had everything from Victoria Alonso, um, the Victoria Alonso lawsuit, to the Bob Chapin lawsuit, to his dismissal, to you know, um, to actually bear with me, guys. Just finding this other photo for you. Um, so yeah, they've just had a very interesting year. Anyways, the CFO, okay, had Christy McCarthy basically said on about Bob Iger's return, streaming and the theme parks, we're winners and we're gonna win. Walt Disney CFO Christy McCarthy nudged investors uh, to discard a couple narratives that has emerged from the latest earnings that Disney Parks growth may be unsustainable and the company is shedding subscribers and slashing streaming content. We like to think of ourselves as a company of winners. We know that there are challenges in this industry, but we look at the hand we have to play and we think we have got a great hand. We are winners and we're going to win, she said at a media conference in New York City, where the company just held its annual upfront presentation to advertisers. Attendees at this and others meet during the week to had to skirt the picket lines for the WGA. Disney ended its fiscal second quarter with 157.8 million global subscribers, down 4 million from the prior quarter, but the drag was from Disney Plus, Hotstar. When we broke it down, we saw a decline of 4.6 million in India and lost 4 million globally, which meant that Disney Plus core subscribers were actually up by less than a million. We would like to have more, but that's partially due to the price increase for the service, McCarthy told the Moffat uh, event. She's confident original television and films set to hit streaming in the second half of the year will attract signups and reduce churn. Disney also will introduce a new app that will merge Disney Plus and Hulu. So that's something else that I'll talk about in a couple minutes too. It seems that an ad-supported streaming tier in September, it launched an ad-supported streaming tier in September and said the reception from the ad community at the end of the company's upfront presentation was very positive. Advertising is slow for Disney and others, but it's cynical. Uh, okay, for others, and will rebound as it always has. Ad sales chief Rita Ferrer, also with the press conference, had said refinements in Disney and Disney's data technology has it well positioned when the ad market does come back. Asked what changed in how the streaming business is being run since Bob Iger returned as CEO in November, she said, well, Bob is back, and that's great news. She had to step back a bit, describing division from parks to ESPN, now managed more streamlined, global, with more accountability at the top. As well as entertainment co-heads Dana Wallen and Alan Bergman. The latter are looking to are spending inside not only their linear but film businesses, but also DTC, just direct to consumer. Where is the marginal dollar of content investment being spent? McCarthy noted some concern from the earnings call about pulling off streaming that could make it harder to attract or retain subs. That's not really the case. It is really spending our dollars to the highest and best use, where they will attract and retain subs. And again, about accountability. There's a lot going on when you release earnings. There's a lot of information that goes in the market at once. This is like a big puzzle. This isn't a 300-piece puzzle. This is a 2,500-piece puzzle, she said. The first place savings, which Disney is addressing, laying off 7,000 employees. At booming theme parks, there's a perception on Wall Street that may be flush in a large part of higher admission costs, which is unsustainable. We are in inflation environment. We are in an environment that it has to deal with inflation. We are very aware of that, as inflation impacts everyone's life. McCarthy insisting that the ticket prices are tracking inflation no more. Park sales and profits are coming from a mixture of experimental food and beverage offerings related to specific properties like Star Wars. Things want things people want to Instagram and post and merchandise. Merchandise. It's t-shirts, it's hat, and it's also building your own lightsaber. Not cheap, but people tend to spend the money. That is consumer choice. Genie Plus, which gives access to attractions for a fee, is boosting sales. Yes, you pay for it, but for some people, it's for a limited amount of time. Since COVID, the theme parks have developed a much more sophisticated reservation system to maximize attendance and revenue. For the first quarter since COVID, attendance popped in international locations. Okay, let me talk about this because it's necessary. Because a couple of things. Now, I think theme parks personally are way overpriced. Okay, and I understand their businesses, multi-billion-dollar businesses, in fact, and they have to try to make money. Um, that being said, I think that when you have a business and you are trying to go, I live right down the street from a Six Flags. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I live right down the street from a Six Flags, and I won't go there. Why? Because it's too damn expensive. I can walk there. I literally can walk. It's a 10-minute walk. But I will not go there because it's way, way too high priced. And I'm not talking about having to deal with parking. I'm talking about everything. Go in there and it's $15 for a cheeseburger. And they search you when you go into the parks to make sure you're not bringing any food or anything or water, because the water is $6. That being said, I think that when you have to deal with inflation, and by the way, inflation hits everybody. Okay, inflation just dropped a 10%. Okay, but still, and they are going to be making so much money. They make so much money as it is, and Bob Iger is doing the right thing. Okay, and I guarantee you right now, they won't say it, but I guarantee you right now, they are doing some sort of short list of people that basically they because he no longer wants to be there, and he's only there for a temporary amount of time. My guess is probably end of 2024 if he's lucky, but hopefully it's a better CEO than Bob Chapek was. And that's the thing. He has to undo all of this bullshit. Okay? I think that being said, okay, I think that Disney's going to be fine. We're always going to go back to Disney in some capacity. And as far as merchandising is concerned, of course, that's a big thing. Of course it's a big thing. T-shirts and hats and keychains and, knickknacks and everything else. So Anyways, what do you think? First of all, what do you think about Disney? Do you like Disney? Do you go to Disneyland or Disney World every year, or if you have a seasonal pass, how often do you go? What's the best part of it to you? What parts don't you like? Leave me your thoughts down in the comments.